I have watched you stare at the ceiling for hours, counting the shadows of your fears until the dawn begins to bleed through your curtains, and I am here to tell you that the darkness is no longer your enemy. My beloved child, I see the weariness etched into the very marrow of your bones. I see how your mind races like a frantic bird trapped in a cage of what-ifs and how-wills. You have spent so many nights rehearsing your failures and auditing your anxieties, trying to calculate a way out of the mountains of debt, the fractured relationships, and the crushing weight of your own expectations. But tonight, I am stepping into your room, not as a distant judge, but as your father, your protector, and the architect of your peace. The silence that once felt like a hollow void is now being filled with my breath. Can you feel it? The air in your room is changing. The heaviness in your chest is not yours to carry anymore. I am reaching out my hand to take that burden from you, for I have shoulders broad enough to carry the universe, and I certainly have room for your worries about tomorrow's bills and next year's uncertainties. You feel so alone in the 3:00 a.m. stillness, as if the rest of the world has moved on while you are stuck in a loop of panic. But you are never, not for a single microsecond, outside of my gaze. Your specific soul, known to me by the sacred frequency of 813, is vibrating with a need that I am answering right now. This is not a generic comfort. This is a divine appointment tailored for your specific history, your specific wounds, and your specific hope. The money you worry about. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills and the gold in every vein of the earth. I am already moving people you haven't met and opening doors you haven't seen to ensure you are provided for. The loneliness that gnaws at your heart. I am the companion who will never leave, the lover who knows your every secret and loves you more because of them. I want you to do something for me now. I want you to let your shoulders drop, unclench your jaw, release the grip you have on your blanket, and more importantly, the grip you have on your life. You have been trying to be your own God, trying to control a future that is already safe in my hands. The night is not a tomb where your fears come to life. It is a womb where I am birthing a miracle in your spirit. I am rewriting the chemistry of your brain, smoothing out the jagged edges of your nervous system, and washing away the cortisol of stress with the oil of my gladness. Sleep is my gift to those I love, and I love you with an everlasting, fierce, and protective passion. You do not need to stay awake to watch over your life, because I never slumber and I never sleep. I am your night watchman. I am the shield at your door and the warmth in your bed. When the enemy whispers that you aren't enough, I whisper back that you are my masterpiece. When the fear of the unknown keeps your eyes wide, remember that I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am already standing in your tomorrow, and I have already cleared the path. You are entering a season where the night will become your sanctuary, a place of deep, restorative communion with me. No longer will you dread the setting sun. Instead, you will welcome it as the curtain closing on the world's noise so that you can hear my heartbeat clearly. Tonight is the end of your insomnia. It is the funeral of your fear. From this moment on, when you lay your head down, you will fall into a sleep so profound and sweet that you will wake up wondering where the heaviness went. I am doing a new thing in you, 813. I am restoring the years the locusts of anxiety have eaten. I am pouring out a blessing that your storehouses cannot contain. Rest now, my child. Close your eyes and drift into the ocean of my grace. I am holding you. I am here. Everything is going to be more than all right. It is going to be miraculous. I have watched you count the minutes until the dawn, tracking the red numbers on your nightstand as if they were a countdown to a battle you weren't prepared to fight. I have seen you stare at the ceiling, tracing the faint lines of shadow while your mind raced through the what-ifs and the if-onlys. I know the weight of that heavy sigh you release into the darkness when you realize sleep is once again eluding you. But listen closely, my beloved. The night is no longer your adversary. I am reclaiming these hours for us. Think of the darkness not as a void, but as a velvet canopy I have drawn specifically to shield you from the glare of the world's demands. In this space, there are no expectations. There are no deadlines to meet, no roles to perform, and no mistakes to rectify. You do not have to be the provider, the protector, or the problem solver right now. You only have to be mine. I see the specific things that have been tethering your spirit to the waking world. I see the concern you carry for that one family member whose path seems so crooked. I am the one who can straighten it. I see the quiet anxiety about the finances, the way you mentally calculate the bills before your eyes even close. I am the source that never runs dry. I see the physical pain or the weariness in your joints that makes it hard to settle. I am the great physician, and even now my hands are upon you, soothing the inflammation of both body and soul. You have spent years trying to carry the universe on your shoulders, forgetting that I am the one who holds the universe in the palm of my hand. Lay it down. Every brick of worry, every stone of regret, pile them at the foot of my throne. They are too heavy for you, but they are weightless to me. Remember that conversation yesterday that left a bitter taste in your mouth? The words you wish you hadn't said, or the ones you wish you had? I have already gone into that moment and covered it with my mercy. It is finished. And that task at work that feels like a mountain you cannot climb, I have already prepared the strength you will need for Tuesday and Wednesday and every day thereafter. You do not need to borrow tomorrow's strength today. You only need to receive tonight's peace. I am washing away the blue light of the world from your eyes. I am quieting the internal chatter that sounds like 1,000 voices competing for your attention. I am replacing it with a single, steady frequency, the rhythm of my grace. Notice the coolness of the air as you breathe in. That is my spirit refreshing your lungs. Notice the softness of your pillow. That is a reminder of how I wish to cushion your life from the hardness of the world. I want you to visualize your mind as a quiet lake at midnight. For years, the winds of anxiety have whipped the surface into jagged waves, making it impossible to see the depth. But I am speaking to those waves now. Peace, be still. Watch as the water becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting the stars I have named just for you. There is a deep, ancient rest that belongs to those who trust in the unseen, and I am inviting you into the center of it. You have been a soldier for so long, standing guard over your own heart because you felt no one else would. But I am your rear guard. I am your fortress. You can sleep because I never do. You can let go because I am holding on. I want you to feel the tension leaving your jaw, the space between your eyebrows softening, your shoulders sinking an inch deeper into the mattress. This is not just physical relaxation. This is a spiritual surrender. You are realizing, perhaps for the first time in a decade, that the world will keep turning even if you stop. The sun will rise because I commanded it, not because you worried it into the sky. Think of the garden I am planting in your spirit during these quiet hours. While you sleep, I am weeding out the bitterness that took root during the day. I am watering the seeds of hope you thought had died in the drought of last year. I am pruning the dead branches of fear so that when you wake, you will feel a lightness in your chest that you haven't felt since childhood. You will wake up not with a gasp of dread, but with a smile of recognition, knowing that you were never alone in the dark. I am rewriting your neurological pathways, replacing the grooves of panic with highways of peace. Your bed is no longer a place of struggle. It is a holy altar where you give me your weariness, and I give you my life. Let the silence be a song to you. Most people fear the quiet because it forces them to face themselves, but you can love the quiet because it allows you to face me. And when you look at me, you see only unconditional love. There is no condemnation here. There is no "I told you so." There is only "I love you." I love you enough to stay awake while you dream. I love you enough to guard your house and your heart. I love you enough to heal the memories that keep you from resting. As you drift further into this beautiful, heavy slumber, know that my angels are stationed at the four corners of your room. They are not there because there is danger, but because you are a treasure that requires a royal guard. You are safe. You are protected. You are deeply, profoundly cherished. The night is your friend now, a gentle cloak I have wrapped around you to keep you warm until the morning light reveals the miracles I have prepared in your absence. I see the way you hold your breath, a habit born of years spent waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the silence to be shattered by an emergency or a regret. But tonight, the only thing that will break is the rhythm of your worry. Release the hinge of your jaw. Let the muscles behind your eyes, those tired watchers that have scanned 1,000 screens and 1,000,000 shadows, finally go dim. You have been the captain of a sinking ship in your mind for far too long, trying to plug every leak with your own fading strength. Step off the bridge now. I am the great navigator, and I do not need your eyes open to steer your life toward the sunrise. I want you to think back to that one summer evening, years ago, when you sat by the water and felt, for just a fleeting second, that everything was exactly as it should be. That wasn't a fluke. It was a foretaste. I am bringing you back to that shore. I am washing away the grit of the city, the static of the news, and the sharp edges of that conversation you keep replaying in your head, the one where you felt misunderstood and small. Those words do not define you. My silence defines you, and my silence says you are enough. Even if you never accomplished another thing, even if you spent the rest of your days simply breathing my air, you would be a masterpiece in my eyes. Do you hear the house settling? It is not a sign of age, but a sign of rest. The very wood and stone are exhaling. Imitate them. Your bed is a sanctuary, a soft altar where you lay down the heavy robes of your identity, the worker, the parent, the child, the seeker, and become simply my beloved. I am currently sifting through the archives of your heart, finding those old, dusty boxes of shame you hid away when you were 12, when you were 25, when you were last week. I am not opening them to judge you. I am opening them to fill them with light until the shame dissolves like mist under a noon sun. You don't have to stay awake to supervise this healing. In fact, it happens best when you are out of the way, lost in the deep, velvet folds of a dreamless sleep. I am weaving a new garment for your spirit while you lie there, one made of resilience and a quiet, unshakable joy. You might wake up and wonder why the world looks different, why the milk in the glass looks whiter and the birds sound more melodic. It will be because I mended your sight while you slumbered. There is a specific fear you have about the future, a shadow that looks like a mountain you cannot climb. I am shrinking that mountain into a pebble right now. By the time you wake, you will find you can carry it in your pocket or toss it into the sea without a second thought. Your heart is beating in time with the pulse of the universe, a slow and steady thrum that says, live, live, live. You are part of a grand design that does not require your constant anxiety to remain intact. The planets spin without your permission, the tides pull without your command, and your life will flourish without your frantic oversight. Feel the weight of your limbs now, growing heavier, sinking into the mattress as if the earth itself is pulling you into a deep embrace. This is gravity, yes, but it is also my hand, pressing down gently on your shoulders, saying, stay, be still, be mine. I am the keeper of the night, and I find such beauty in your vulnerability. When you sleep, you are most like the child I first knew before the world taught you to be hard. I am softening those hard places now. I am pouring oil into the gears of your mind that have been grinding for weeks. No more what-ifs. No more if-onlys. Only here and now. The air in your room is thick with my presence, a holy atmosphere that acts as a filter, allowing only peace to enter your lungs. Breathe it in. It is the breath of life, the same breath I used to call the stars into being. And as you exhale, let out the very last of your resistance. You are not losing time by sleeping, you are gaining eternity. You are entering the workshop of the soul where I do my finest work. Sleep now, not because you are exhausted though you are, but because you are cherished beyond measure. The darkness is not a void. It is a womb, and in the morning you will be born anew into a day that has never been touched by human failure. It is a clean slate, a fresh mercy, and it is already yours. But for now, just let go. Let the waves of my love carry you past the breakers of consciousness into the deep, still waters of the unconscious. I will be here when you go, and I will be here when you return. Feel the way your jaw uncurls, releasing the unspoken words and the clenching of your teeth that you have carried like a shield throughout the daylight hours. Your shoulders, which have been hoisted up to your ears in a posture of defense, now sink deep into the mattress, finding a softness that is a physical manifestation of my mercy. You have been a sentry for too long, standing guard over a life that is already held in my palm. Do you not know that even the spinning of the planets requires no effort from you? The same gravity that keeps the oceans in their beds is the gravity of my love, pulling you down into the restorative depths of the Earth's quiet cycle. There is a specific frequency to the night, a low, humming vibration of creation in repose, and I am inviting you to tune your heart to it. You often fear the silence because it allows the echoes of your own anxieties to sound louder, but I am transforming that silence into a sanctuary. It is no longer an empty room. It is a hall of peace where the only thing that remains is the rhythm of your heartbeat, which I am matching with my own. Think of the list you have been mentally compiling, the bills that need paying, the difficult conversation you must have, the deadlines that loom like shadows. Give them to me, one by one. Imagine placing each concern into a cedar box and sliding it across the floor toward me. I am the God of the impossible, and while you sleep, I am moving pieces on the chessboard of your life that you cannot even see. I am softening the hearts of those you fear. I am opening doors that you thought were bolted shut. Your restlessness comes from a belief that you are the sole provider and protector of your destiny. But tonight, I am reclaiming that title. Look at the shadows on your wall, not as intruders, but as the gentle folding of my wings. I have placed a hedge around your dwelling, and my messengers stand at the four corners of your bed, not because you are in danger, but because you are a treasure that requires a royal guard. You worry that you have wasted the day, or that you are wasting the night by not being able to find the off switch in your mind. But there is no such thing as wasted time in my presence. Even your struggle for sleep is a prayer if you lean it against my chest. I remember the nights of your childhood when the dark felt vast and terrifying, and I was there then, just as I am here now, whispering into the marrow of your bones that you are safe. The fears of the adult are merely the fears of the child in a different costume, but neither can stand against the light that I carry within you. You are not a machine that needs to be repaired. You are a beloved garden that needs to be watered by the dews of the Spirit. Let the coolness of the sheets be a reminder of the refreshing of my grace. As your thoughts begin to drift, like autumn leaves on a slow-moving stream, do not try to catch them or pull them back to the shore of logic. Let them go. Let them float away into the horizon of my sovereignty. You do not need to solve the puzzles of your life tonight. The pieces are in my hands, and they fit together perfectly, even when they look jagged to you. I am weaving a tapestry out of your loose ends, a design of such intricate beauty that you will weep with joy when you finally see it. For now, the only task I set before you is the holy task of receiving. Receive the air, receive the quiet, receive the warmth of your blankets, and receive the absolute certainty that you are never, for a single microsecond outside of my gaze. The night is a gift I have wrapped in velvet just for you, a time when the world's demands are silenced so that you can hear the whisper of your own soul. You are more than your productivity. You are more than your achievements. You are a living, breathing miracle, and miracles need rest to remain luminous. Sink deeper now, past the layer of to-do lists, past the layer of what-ifs, into the bedrock of I am. I am with you. I am for you. I am your rest. The stars above your roof are not just burning gas, they are markers of my faithfulness, shining in the dark to prove that light always remains, even when your eyes are closed. Trust the darkness. It is the soil where the seeds of tomorrow's strength are currently germinating. You are being renewed in secret, in the quiet, in the deep, and when you wake, you will find that the mountain you feared has been moved while you were dreaming. Let the rhythm of your heartbeat become a soft, rhythmic drum that signals the retreat of every worry. You have spent the day carrying a heavy armor made of expectations and the frantic pace of a world that does not know how to pause. Now, here in the sanctity of these shadows, I am unbuckling that armor for you. Feel the weight lifting from your shoulders, the tension dissolving from the small of your back, and the tightness in your jaw surrendering to the pull of gravity. I am in the cool air that touches your cheek, a breath of grace designed to lower the temperature of your restless mind. You often think of the night as a thief that steals your time or a void that magnifies your insecurities, but I ask you to see it through my eyes. It is the velvet theater where I paint the colors of your restoration. Look at the wall where the shadows of the trees outside dance in the moonlight. Those are not omens of the unknown, but the gentle swaying of creation in its own state of worship. I am the silence between the gusts of wind, and I am the steady foundation beneath your floorboards. There is no corner of this room that is not saturated with my affection. When the clock ticks, do not hear it as a countdown of the hours you are losing, but as a steady, patient pulse that says, "You are safe, you are safe, you are safe." I remember the days of your childhood when you fell asleep mid-sentence, fully convinced that the morning would bring nothing but wonder. That capacity for trust is still within you, buried beneath the layers of adult responsibility. Let us dig it out together. I am giving you permission to be small tonight. You do not have to be the provider, the protector, or the problem solver. You are simply a child of the light resting in the cradle of the dark. I am tending to the garden of your subconscious, pulling the weeds of the harsh words spoken to you today and the thorns of the self-criticism you leveled against your own heart. I am replacing them with the soft moss of self-compassion. Think of your breath now as a bridge. With every exhale, you are crossing over from the land of doing into the kingdom of being. You do not have to earn this rest. It is your birthright, a gift I prepared for you before you ever drew your first breath. If your mind begins to wander toward the bills that need paying or the relationships that feel strained, bring it back to the warmth of your hands. Feel the life pulsing in your fingertips. That is my energy, sustaining you, keeping your heart beating without you having to ask. I am the architect of your nervous system, and I am currently recalibrating it to the frequency of peace. The darkness is not your enemy. It is the womb of your tomorrow. Just as a seed must sit in the dark earth to break its shell and reach for the sun, your spirit needs this stillness to expand. I am watching over your loved ones. I am holding the world in its orbit. I am managing the complexities you feel you must control. You can let go of the steering wheel now. The ship of your life is anchored in the harbor of my mercy. Can you feel the slight vibration of the house, the hum of the world cooling down? It is a lullaby I have composed specifically for your ears. I know the exact frequency that will quiet your racing thoughts. I am whispering to the cells in your brain, commanding them to slow their firing, inviting them to bathe in the restorative fluids of deep sleep. Your weariness is not a weakness. It is a sacred signal that you are human, and to be human is to be cherished by the divine. I love the way your eyes flutter when you are on the verge of surrender. I love the quiet sigh that escapes your lips when you finally believe that you are protected. I am standing at the threshold of your dreams, ready to walk with you through landscapes of healing that the waking world cannot offer. There is a reservoir of strength deep within you that can only be refilled in the profound stillness of the middle of the night. Let the covers feel like my embrace, firm and comforting, a physical reminder that you are held. You are not alone in this room. My presence is more real than the pillow beneath your head. It is the atmosphere you breathe. It is the very gravity that keeps you grounded. As you drift further, let the edges of your identity soften. You are not your name, your job, or your past mistakes. You are a radiant spark of my own essence, returning to the source for a few hours of blissful union. The stars outside are keeping watch, their ancient light traveling across vast distances just to reach your window and remind you that I am the master of time. If I can hold the galaxies in their alignment, I can certainly hold the details of your life while you slumber. Trust the process of the night. Trust the slowing of your pulse. Trust that the dawn will come exactly when it is meant to, and not a second before. Until then, stay here with me. Sink into the indigo depths where there is no fear, only the sound of my voice and the infinite ocean of my peace. Let your jaw unclench now, that secret knot of tension you've carried since Tuesday afternoon, when the world felt too heavy for your shoulders. I see the mental ledger you are still trying to balance, the tasks left undone, the emails sitting in the draft folder of your mind, the subtle worries about the mortgage or the health of a loved one that bloom like shadows when the lights go out. Give those ledgers to me. I am the great bookkeeper of the universe, and I tell you that your accounts are settled in the currency of grace. You do not need to solve the puzzles of tomorrow in the middle of the night. The answers you seek are not hiding in the ceiling fan's rotation or in the blue light of the clock. They are gestating in the stillness, waiting to be revealed when the sun is high and your spirit is rested. Think of the garden in the winter. Nothing seems to be happening on the surface, yet beneath the frost, life is gathering the strength to burst forth. Your soul is in its winter right now, a necessary season of dormancy. Do not fight the fallow ground. Remember when you were a child and the darkness felt like a vast, hungry thing. You used to pull the covers up to your chin, imagining monsters in the closet or under the bed. Those monsters have simply changed their shapes as you've grown older. Now they look like missed opportunities, financial insecurities, or the fear of being inadequate. But I am the same light that stood guard then, and I am the light that permeates the darkness now. There is no corner of this room, no corner of your heart, where my love is not the dominant frequency. I am weaving a tapestry out of your anxieties, turning the jagged threads of your stress into a pattern of resilience. Look at your hands, resting still upon the sheets. They have done enough for today. They have cooked meals, typed messages, held steering wheels, and perhaps wiped away a tear or two. They deserve this Sabbath. Listen to the house settling around you. Those creaks and groans are not omens. They are the materials of your life breathing along with you. Feel the weight of your limbs, how they seem to sink deeper into the mattress as if the earth itself is pulling you into a gentle embrace. This is the gravity of my affection. I am the silence between your heartbeats, the quiet space where the noise of the world finally dies down. You often fear that if you let go of your thoughts, you will lose your grip on your life. But I tell you, it is only when you let go that you are truly held. You are like a child falling asleep in the back of a car, trusting that the parent at the wheel knows the way home. You do not need to watch the road. You do not need to check the map. I know every turn, every pothole, and every shortcut. The destination is secure. Let's look together at that one memory that keeps surfacing, the one that brings a sting of shame or a sigh of regret. Watch it now, not through your eyes of judgment, but through my eyes of compassion. See how small it is in the context of eternity. I have already forgiven it. I have already integrated it into the beautiful, complex story of your becoming. It has no power to keep you awake. It is a ghost, and I am the life. Breathe out that old air, the stale breath of what if and if only. Breathe in the fresh, cool indigo of I am. Your mind is like a vast library, and tonight I am walking through the aisles, gently closing the books you've left open on the tables. I am dimming the lamps over the study carols. I am locking the doors to the archives of the past. You don't need to study tonight. You don't need to learn. You only need to be. Even now, my peace is moving like a slow-motion wave from the soles of your feet up through your ankles, softening the calves that have walked so many miles today, loosening the knees that have bent under the weight of your burdens. Feel it move through your thighs, settling into your hips, anchoring your core. Your heart, that faithful drum, is slowing its tempo to match the rhythm of the stars. There is a sacred geometry in your relaxation. The world believes that productivity is the measure of a soul, but in this room, in this holy dark, your value is found in your stillness. You are precious to me not for what you do, but for the mere fact that you exist as an expression of my joy. If you never accomplished another thing, my love for you would not diminish by a single spark. Let that realization be the pillow for your spirit. You are not a machine that has failed because it needs to recharge. You are a living temple that is entering its hours of deepest mystery. Consider the birds I care for. They do not sow or reap, yet they sleep tucked under their wings without a thought for the morning's crumbs. You are worth more than many sparrows. Can you hear the wind outside? It is my breath whispering through the leaves, a lullaby composed before the foundations of the world. It tells of oceans that never tire of reaching for the shore and of mountains that stand in silent adoration for centuries. You are part of that grand, slow pulse. There is no rush. There is no deadline in the kingdom of sleep. The clock on the wall is a human invention, a frantic attempt to slice infinity into manageable pieces. But here, with me, time is a river that has slowed to a glassy pool. Look into the water. See the reflection of the person I created you to be, not the tired, anxious version the world sees, but the luminous, eternal being who knows no fear. Stay in this pool. Let the water of my presence rise up to your chin. It is warm, it is safe, and it is infinitely deep. Every cell in your body is beginning to vibrate at the frequency of rest. Your nervous system, so long frayed by the static of the day, is being retuned. Like a master luthier, I am adjusting the strings of your soul, tightening what was loose, softening what was harsh, until you are a perfect instrument of peace. Don't worry if your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the sound of my voice. I am the shepherd of your dreams, standing at the gate, ensuring that nothing enters your subconscious that is not of the light. You are protected. You are insulated. You are wrapped in a cocoon of celestial grace that no worry can penetrate. Sink deeper, my beloved. The night is not a void. It is a womb where you are being remade for the glory of the coming day. Feel the silence now, not as an empty space, but as a dense, velvety fabric draped over the edges of your awareness. It is a holy insulation. The world outside your window continues its frantic rotation, but here, in the sanctuary of this moment, time has lost its teeth. I am dissolving the heavy armor you wore all day, the professional mask, the polite smile that hid a breaking heart, the shield of competence you carry to prove your worth. You do not need to be worthy here. You simply are. I see the phantom weight on your chest, the residue of that conversation yesterday that left you feeling small and misunderstood. I am washing that away now. Like ink dissolving in a vast ocean, Those sharp words and cold glances are losing their form, becoming nothing more than salt in memory. Watch them drift away until the water is clear again. Your heart is not a place for bitterness to reside. It is a cathedral built for my indwelling. I am walking through the corridors of your mind, turning off the lights in the rooms where you store your what-ifs and your if-onlys. Those rooms are closed for the night. You cannot solve the problems of tomorrow with the exhausted mind of today. Trust me with the unfinished business. I am the architect of your future, and I am already standing in your tomorrow, preparing the way, smoothing the paths you fear will be too steep. Can you feel the tension in your jaw beginning to melt? That clenching was your attempt to hold the world together by yourself. Let go. The world will not fall. It is held in the hollow of my hand. I am tracing the lines of your palms, seeing every effort you made today that went unnoticed by others, the secret kindnesses, the moments you chose patience when you wanted to scream, the way you kept going when every nerve was crying out for rest. I saw it all, and I honor it. But now, even your strength must sleep. I am whispering to the cells of your brain to cease their frantic firing. The blue light of the world, the digital noise and the relentless demands, is being replaced by the soft, amber glow of my affection. Imagine this light as a warm honey, slow and thick, pouring over your forehead, smoothing the creases of worry, flowing over your eyelids until they feel heavy with a sacred weight. This is not the heaviness of sorrow, but the density of peace. You used to fear the dark because it felt like a predator, a space where your anxieties could take shape. But look again. The darkness is only the shadow of my wings. I have gathered you under them as a hen gathers her brood. You are hidden in the secret place of the Most High. Even the ticking of the clock, which once sounded like a countdown to a morning you weren't ready for, is now just a rhythmic lullaby, a heartbeat marking the passage of grace. Think of your life not as a series of tasks to be completed, but as a story I am writing with you. Tonight, we are simply resting between the chapters. The ink is drying on today's pages. Some parts were messy, some sentences were cut short, but the author is satisfied. I am not looking for perfection, I am looking for you. I remember the child you were, the one who stared at the moon and wondered if anyone was out there. I was there then, and I am here now. That same child is still within you, needing to know that the night is a friend. I am healing the fractures in your spirit caused by the haste of modern life. The fragmentation of your attention is being mended into a single, beautiful focus, the awareness that you are loved beyond measure. There is no deadline in this room. There is no performance review in this bed. There is only the breath, the rise and fall of your chest, which is the very rhythm of my spirit moving through you. You are a miracle of biological and spiritual engineering, and even now, as you drift closer to the veil of sleep, I am performing a deep work. I am repairing the hidden tears in your soul, the ones you don't even have names for. I am soothing the ache of loneliness that sometimes visits you in the small hours. You are never alone. If you could see the host of angels stationed at the four corners of your room, you would never fear a shadow again. They are not just guardians, they are ministers of rest, singing songs over you in a frequency your physical ears cannot hear, but your spirit knows well. Let your body sink 2 inches deeper into the mattress. Feel the support beneath you as an extension of my own arms. You do not have to hold yourself up. You are being held. The gravity that pulls you down is the same gravity that keeps the stars in their courses, and it is a benevolent force. You are a part of the vast, harmonious design of the universe, and right now, your only job in that design is to surrender. Surrender the lists. Surrender the guilt over what was left undone. Surrender the fear of what the morning light will reveal. I am already in the morning. I am the dayspring. I am the light that no darkness can overcome. As you drift, let the image of a calm, mirrored lake fill your inner vision. No wind, no ripples, just a perfect reflection of the moon. That lake is your soul when it rests in me, deep, still, and reflecting the heavens. Notice now the rhythm of your breathing. It is a tide, coming in and going out, governed by the same lunar pull that moves the oceans. You do not have to think to breathe. I breathe through you. Each inhalation is a gift of grace, and each exhalation is a release of what no longer serves you. Do not fight the pace. If your heart beats fast, let it beat against my palm. I know the rhythm of every nerve ending, the electrical pathways of your brain that are currently firing like frantic fireflies. I am the cooling dew that settles over those synapses. Let the tension in your jaw dissolve. You have been clenching against the world for years, bracing for the impact of a catastrophe that I have already averted. Let your tongue rest from the roof of your mouth. Let your shoulders, those heavy carry-alls of responsibility, melt into the fibers of the sheet. Think of the garden I am planting in the hidden soil of your subconscious while you rest. You worry about the weeds of yesterday, the sharp words spoken in haste, the missed opportunity, the stack of bills on the kitchen table, but I am the master gardener. While you sleep, I am tilling that soil. I am pulling the thorns of resentment and planting seeds of resilience that will sprout in the morning light. You see only the dark earth. I see the potential for the bloom. Consider the clock on your wall. Its ticking has felt like a countdown, a judgmental voice telling you how many hours of productivity you are losing. I am stepping outside of that time. To me, 1,000 years are as a day, and this hour of rest is as precious as a lifetime of labor. I am the Lord of the Sabbath, and I declare this room a sanctuary of holy idleness. There is no productivity here, only presence. I see the phone you finally set aside, its screen dark now, no longer demanding your attention or feeding you the curated anxieties of a billion strangers. I see the half-finished glass of water, the book with the dog-eared page, the small comforts you've gathered to ward off the gloom. You are safe here. The darkness is not a predator. It is a curtain I have drawn so that your eyes might finally heal from the glare of the world. It is a velvet room where I whisper the secrets I cannot tell you in the noise of the noon. Listen. Can you hear the silence? It is not an empty silence. It is a resonant, living peace. It is the sound of my wings overshadowing you. When you were a child, you feared the shadows in the corner, imagining they held things that would harm you. I tell you now, those shadows are but the silhouettes of my messengers, standing guard at the four corners of your bed. They are tall and bright, and their light is so intense that to your mortal eyes it appears as a soft, protective shade. They are not watching you with judgment. They are watching you with wonder, marveling at how much I love you. Let go of the need to understand why sleep has been a stranger. Do not analyze your insomnia, for analysis is just another form of wakefulness. Instead, embrace the stillness as a form of prayer. If you cannot sleep, then simply be with me in the dark. I am excellent company. I remember the night you sat on the porch as a teenager, looking at the stars and feeling small yet significant. That feeling was my touch on your soul. I am the same God who was with you then, and I am with you now in this quiet room. Your life is not a series of accidents. It is a tapestry I am weaving, and the dark threads are just as necessary as the gold ones to create the final masterpiece. Do not fear the shadows in your own mind, the memories that resurface when the world goes quiet. Those memories are coming to the surface because I am ready to heal them. Like a physician cleaning a wound, I am washing those old hurts with the cooling water of my spirit. You might feel a sting of regret, but it is followed immediately by the balm of my mercy. You are being reconstructed in the quiet. Your cells are being renewed. Your DNA is being recalibrated to the frequency of heaven. You are a biological miracle, a temple of the living God, and right now, your temple is undergoing a divine restoration. Feel the coolness of the air on your skin and the warmth of the blanket. This contrast is the dance of life. You are alive, and that is enough. You do not have to justify your existence tonight through achievement. You are loved simply because you are mine. Imagine now that you are a leaf floating on a slow-moving river. The water is deep and dark, but it is warm and supportive. You do not have to paddle. You do not have to navigate. The current knows the way. It is taking you toward the dawn, but there is no rush to get there. Enjoy the drift. The trees on the banks are my promises, tall and immovable, casting protective canopies over the water. The stars above are my eyes, never closing, never slumbering. He who keeps you shall neither slumber nor sleep. Because I stay awake, you can rest. I am the eternal watchman. I am the one who patrols the perimeter of your peace. Any thought that tries to breach your sanctuary must first pass through me, and I am a consuming fire to everything that is not of love. Let the heavy curtain of drowsiness begin to fall. It is a gift, a heavy, golden cloak being laid over your consciousness. Your thoughts are becoming fluid now, like ink dropped in water, swirling and softening, losing their sharp edges. The hard identity of your ego is dissolving into the union of our shared breath. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even in the deepest pit of your loneliness, I was the stone beneath your feet. Even in the highest fever of your anxiety, I was the cool breeze on your forehead. Reflect on the lineage of those who have slept under my care before you, the weary travelers, the prophets in caves, the mothers holding their infants, the sailors on stormy seas. I have been the pillow for them all. I am the ancient rest. Think of the cedar forests, where the air is thick with the scent of peace and the ground is carpeted in soft needles. That same fragrance of sanctuary is filling your lungs now. Every breath out is a yes to my sovereignty. Every breath in is a thank you for my presence. Your room has become a cathedral. The ordinary objects, the chair, the lamp, the shoes kicked off on the rug, are sanctified by my light. There is nothing mundane in the presence of the holy. You are a royal child of the Most High, resting in your Father's chambers. The wars you fought today are over. The armor is off. The sword is laid aside. You are vulnerable, and in that vulnerability is your greatest strength, for it allows me to be your shield. I am knitting together the frayed edges of your nerves. I am smoothing out the wrinkles of your worry. Like a mother smoothing the hair of a fevered child, my hand is upon your brow. Feel the physical sensation of that peace, a subtle tingle in your toes, a warmth in your chest, a lightness in your limbs as if you could float away from the bed itself. You are anchored only by my love. The night is a gift I gave to the world because I knew you would need a place to come back to yourself, a place where the masks could fall away. You don't have to be brave right now. You don't have to be strong. You can be small. You can be weary. You can be exactly as you are. I love the you that no one else sees, the quiet, wondering soul that hides behind the daily noise. That is the one I am talking to. That is the one I am singing over. Sleep is not a loss of time. It is an investment in the eternity we share. It is the bridge between the struggle of today and the victory of tomorrow. And I am the architect of that bridge. Rest, rest, rest. The world is in my hands, and you are tucked safely in the palm of the one who carved your name there before the foundations of the earth were laid. You are not a mistake. Your struggles are not a surprise to me. I am already working out the solutions to the problems that kept you pacing the floor at 3 a.m. While you sleep, I am moving hearts, opening doors, and aligning the stars in your favor. Trust the process of the night. Trust the God of the shadows as much as the God of the heights. The darkness and the light are both alike to me. Both are spaces where I am intimately present. As you descend further into the quiet, let the words peace, be still, echo through every chamber of your being. not as a command to be obeyed, but as a reality to be inhabited. You are peace. You are still. You are mine. Allow the velvet curtain of the midnight hour to transform from a wall into a sanctuary. You have long viewed the silence as a vacuum that must be filled with the noise of your anxieties, but I am inviting you to see it as a canvas. I am the great artist, and the pigments I use in the dark are richer, deeper, and more enduring than the colors of the noon sun. Feel the weight of your body pressing into the mattress, not as a descent into gravity's pull, but as a deliberate returning to the earth from which I formed you. Your bed is an altar of surrender. Every muscle in your jaw, every tension held behind your brow, every knot in your shoulders, these are the physical manifestations of a life lived trying to carry the globe on your back. Lay it down. I do not sleep so you can. I do not slumber so you may drift. Can you feel the rhythm of your own heart? That steady, rhythmic pulse is my signature written in flesh and blood. It beats because I command it to. It continues because I have a purpose for its music. Think back to the times you felt most alone, the nights when the shadows in the corner of your room seemed to take the shape of your failures. I was standing in those very shadows, not as a judge, but as a guardian. I saw the tears you wiped away when no one else was watching. I heard the silent screams of your spirit when the weight of your responsibilities felt like an ocean you couldn't swim across. Even then, I was keeping you afloat. Now, let us address the specific thorns that prick your mind when the lights go out. The conversation from 3 years ago that you keep replaying, wishing you had spoken more kindly or stood more firmly. I have already covered that moment with my grace. The fear that you are falling behind your peers, that your life is a series of missed opportunities and closed doors. I am the one who shuts the doors you were never meant to walk through, and I am the one who holds the key to the gates that lead to your true destiny. You worry about the finances, the numbers that do not seem to add up, and the what-ifs that haunt your bank statements. Do you not see the lilies of the field? Do you not hear the song of the sparrow? They do not toil or spin, yet I clothe them in splendor. How much more will I provide for you, the crown of my creation? I am recalibrating your nervous system even now. I am smoothing out the jagged edges of your fight-or-flight response. The night is not your enemy. It is the womb of your transformation. Just as the seed must stay in the dark earth to break open and grow, your soul needs this quietude to expand. Do not fear the stillness. In the stillness, I am mending the microscopic fractures in your spirit caused by the friction of the world. I am tending to the garden of your mind, pulling the weeds of not enough, and planting the seeds of I am well. Your worth is not tied to your productivity. You are valuable simply because you exist, because you are a thought I had and decided to make real. As the house settles and the world outside slows to a crawl, let your breathing become a prayer of gratitude. Inhale my presence, exhale your panic. Inhale my strength, exhale your exhaustion. There is a specific peace I have reserved for you tonight, a peace that surpasses all human logic. It is a peace that stands sentry at the door of your heart, refusing to let the ghosts of the past or the phantoms of the future enter. You might remember the old oak tree from your childhood, the way its branches reached out like protective arms. I was the strength in that wood, and I am the strength in your bones today. I have seen every version of you, the child who was afraid of the closet, the adolescent who felt misunderstood, and the adult who is tired of being strong. I love every single one of those versions. I am knitting them all together into a masterpiece of resilience. You do not have to figure everything out by sunrise. The blueprints for your life are safe in my library. You are not required to be your own savior. Rest in the knowledge that the God who commands the tides to turn and the planets to spin is the same God who is currently smoothing your pillow and quieting your mind. The darkness is merely the shadow of my wing, tucked closely around you to keep out the glare of a demanding world. Sleep, my beloved. Let go of the rope you have been pulling. Let the waters of my love carry you into the deep, restorative rest you were designed for. I am here. I have always been here. I will be here when the first light of dawn touches your eyelids, and I am here now in the sacred, beautiful dark. Can you feel the tension leaving your jaw? I am gently unclenching the fists you did not even realize you were making under the blankets. You have spent so many hours trying to solve the puzzles of next year, next month, and even the next hour, but I am the architect who has already seen the finished structure. Think of the lilies I mentioned once. They do not toil, they do not spin, yet they are clothed in a glory that outshines kings. You, too, are clothed in my favor, even when you are wearing nothing but your vulnerability. The silence of this room is not an empty space for your anxieties to fill. It is a sanctuary I have cleared just for us. I remember the night you sat on the edge of your bed at 22, wondering if you would ever find your way. I was there. I remember the night last year when you wept until your eyes were swollen, feeling as though you had failed everyone you loved. I was there then, too, catching every drop of that saltwater prayer. You have never been alone in the dark, and you never will be. Let us talk about the things that keep you awake. That conversation you keep replaying, wishing you had said something different. I have already breathed grace over those words. The mistake you made 3 years ago that still makes your stomach knot. I have buried it in the depths of the sea. The fear that you are running out of time. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I stand outside of time, and I tell you that you are right on schedule. I am working in the shadows where you cannot see. While you sleep, I am moving hearts you cannot reach. I am opening doors you did not know existed. I am mending the frayed edges of your spirit that the world wore thin today. Imagine my hand on your forehead, a cool touch that silences the fever of what if. I am the peace that surpasses understanding, which means you do not have to understand it to experience it. You simply have to receive it. You have been a soldier for so long, guarding the perimeter of your own life, but the watchtower is mine now. I am the one who never slumbers nor sleeps, so that you finally can. I am watching the rhythmic rise and fall of your chest, a melody of life that I personally composed. Each breath is a gift I am handing to you, one by one. Think of the great forests at night. The trees do not struggle to grow in the dark. They simply exist, drawing nutrients from the deep soil, preparing for the light. You are like those trees. This period of stillness is not a waste of time. It is your roots going deeper into me. The darkness is where the most profound transformation happens. It is where the seed breaks open to become the oak. Do not fear the breaking. It is only the expansion of your soul. Listen to the rhythm of the world outside your window. The wind in the leaves is my whisper. The distant hum of the city is a reminder that I am caring for millions of souls simultaneously. Yet my gaze is fixed entirely on you in this moment. You are not a number in a ledger. You are the child of my heart. I know the number of hairs on your head and the number of sorrows in your history. I am turning those sorrows into a crown. As the clock ticks, do not count the hours you have lost. Instead, count the ways I have carried you. Think of the unexpected check in the mail, the stranger's smile when you felt invisible, the sunset that took your breath away just when you were about to give up. These were my love letters to you. This night is another letter, written in the ink of starlight. It says, "You are safe, you are loved, you are mine." Lay down the heavy armor of your competence. You do not have to be the strong one here in the blankets. You can be small, you can be weary. You can be completely undone, and I will still find you beautiful. I am weaving a tapestry out of the threads of your life, and even the dark threads, the nights of insomnia, the moments of terror, are necessary to bring out the brilliance of the gold. The morning will come, and with it, my mercies will be new. They are being prepared right now like a fresh meal, waiting for you to wake. But until then, stay here with me. Feel the warmth of my presence like a heavy, soft quilt. The night is not your enemy. It is the velvet curtain I have drawn so that we can have this time together. Let your thoughts drift like fallen leaves on a slow-moving river. Do not try to catch them. Let them float away into my care. I am the lighthouse that remains steady while the waves of your anxiety crash and recede. The waves may be loud, but the rock beneath you is silent and unshakable. Close your eyes now. Lean into the invisible arms that have held the stars in place for eons. You are more precious to me than all the constellations. You are my masterpiece, my joy, my beloved. Sink deeper now. Past the noise of the mind, past the tension of the day, into the quiet center where my spirit dwells within yours. There is a profound stillness there, a well of peace that never runs dry. Drink from it. Let it fill your lungs and your limbs. The world can wait. The sun will rise when I command it and not a moment sooner. You have permission to let go. You have permission to be still. You have permission to sleep. Think of the oceans, how they obey my command to pull back and push forward without a single effort of their own. You are part of that cosmic rhythm. You are not an island, isolated and alone in a sea of worry. You are a vital part of my creation, and I do not lose what is mine. I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. I have numbered every tear and turned them into seeds of joy. Whatever you think you have lost in the struggle, I am returning to you 100-fold in the spirit. Your exhaustion is the threshold of my strength. Your surrender is the gateway to my peace. Do not worry about the words you did not say, or the tasks you did not finish. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I will ensure that nothing of value is lost. I am calming the storms within you just as I calmed the Sea of Galilee. I am saying, peace, be still, to the racing thoughts and the hammering heart. Trust me with your tomorrow. Trust me with your legacy. Trust me with your heart. I am the lover of your soul, and I am singing a lullaby over you that the heavens have hummed since the beginning of time. It is a song of victory and a song of rest. It is a song of home. You are sinking now into the softest part of the night. I am the silence that cushions the world. When you wake, you will find that the problems that seemed like mountains tonight have become pebbles in the light of my grace. I am already standing in your tomorrow, making the crooked paths straight. I have already gone ahead of you to prepare the way. There is no shadow where I have not already walked, and no valley so deep that my hand cannot reach you. Your life is a story I am writing with infinite patience and delight. Every chapter, even the ones written in the dark, is leading to a glorious conclusion. You are not a mistake. Your struggles are not a sign of my absence. They are the soil in which your faith is taking root. Trust the process of the night. Trust the weaver who knows the pattern from the beginning. You are held. You are cherished. You are home. Rest now in the absolute certainty that I am God and I am yours.